my chambers and stuff.
Hello YouTube, today we're gonna talk about Game of Thrones. We all know that Lannisters are not doing well after Tywin Lannister. They're enemies and their problems are getting bigger and bigger day by day. So in this video, we're gonna talk about how things would have been different if Tywin Lannister was still alive. Before we start, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our video. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's start from the point in which he dies. Tyrion is freed by Jaime but doesn't climb up to kill his father. He still escapes with Varys though. Tywin would know that Jaime is partly responsible and would hold him accountable, but publicly he blames Varys and hides Jaime's involvement. He would most likely be able to work out that Tyrion isn't going to stay in Westeros and dispatches a party of men to hunt down and return Tyrion, but I doubt he would be too bothered. Dead or across the narrow sea, he still got Tyrion out of the picture. He spurns Jaime frequently for betraying his family and I imagine would try to find a way to use this to send Jaime back to Casterly Rock to rule there. Tywin remains Hand of the King in King's Landing and successfully built the union of Tyrell and Lannisters. Jaime isn't dispatched to Dorne to retrieve Myrcella and therefore she isn't murdered by sand snakes. Cersei is wed to Loras. Tommen is wed to Margaery. Myrcella is wed to Tristan. The realm is more united than ever before. I imagine Blackfish still takes Riverrun from the phrase. Tywin orders Edmure to be put to death and razes Riverrun to the ground, killing Blackfish in the process. Littlefinger does not give Sansa to Boltons, as revealing that he has her would bring Tywin's wrath down upon him. And he does not want that, so Sansa remains Alayne at the Eyrie for now. The goings on the narrow sea would remain the same as we see them, except Tyrion is slightly less fucked up. The Boltons' hold on the north is much less secure without Sansa, and the Northern Lords attempt to oust the Bolton and declare for Stannis, causing Roose Bolton to ask Tywin for help. Tywin, knowing how unsuccessful Southern Lords fare in the north, uses Freys and the Tyrells to join the forces with Boltons, and they are defeated by the Northern Lords, but Stannis dies. The Northern Lords turn to Jon Snow to take the place of the King of Winterfell, but he will refuse being Lord Commander and honorable until of course he is murdered and reborn, upon which he takes his seat and become King in the North. The High Sparrow would never come into power because Tywin would never allow the Faith Militant to be remade. Cersei, Margaery and Loras aren't imprisoned and put on a trial. The mountain dies of his wound and doesn't become a zombie mountain. Qyburn still becomes Varys' replacement but answers to Tywin. It's all much boring than what actually happened, and the Lannisters are in a much better political position when Daenerys sells for Dragonstone. Jon still sees the Night King as the real enemy and still goes to the Dragonstone after Sam tells him of the dragon glass there. However, Tywin sent a small force of Euron's men to intercept Jon on his journey and stop him. Jon makes it to Dragonstone before Euron can get there. However, Dragonstone is laid siege to by the Iron Fleet. Jon is stuck on Dragonstone with Davos. He convinces Dany of their plight but cannot go down to the cave whilst Dragonstone is under siege. Eventually, Daenerys loses her dragon on the fleet surrounding Dragonstone and destroys it. Jon gets his dragon glass, Bran and Arya return to Winterfell, and Arya assumes command of the North in Jon's absence, since Bran is the three-eyed ravens and he can see things and all that. Sansa returns to Winterfell with Littlefinger, and a similar thing happens as in the show, except the Starks don't fight amongst themselves. They communicate as a family and sentence Lord Baelish to death. Tywin is infazed. He caused the entire force of Casterly Rock and the Iron Islands to King's Landing. Jon, having excavated the cave, returns to Winterfell, having allied with Daenerys by bending the knee as he sees no other way to defeat both Tywin and the army of the dead. Swiftly afterwards, Jon and Dany join their entire forces together to march to King's Landing and take the city by force. From there, Jaime dies, Theon and Yara dies, tens of thousands of soldiers dies on both sides. But the Dothraki Unsullied, Northmen, Vale, Dornish, and dragons will come out on top. Tywin is executed, Tommen and Cersei are imprisoned. What's left of the Tyrells are pardoned along with the soldiers who didn't die in the war. And then they all turn their attentions to the enemy beyond the wall. This is one of thousands of possibilities and just what I believe should have happened if Tywin Lannister was still alive. All I know that it would be all too boring if Tywin was still in the picture. Tell me what you think would be different down in the comments below. Hope you all like this video. Do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to stay updated with our new videos.